the economy is cyclic, so and we're somewhat overdue for a recession. And my best guess is that we have sort of stormy times for a year to a year and a half, and then things start to dawn breaks roughly in Q2 24. If I were to get, that's like my best guess.
Elon Musk says he is done selling Tesla stock, at least for now. The CEO's offloaded almost $40 billion of stock this year, mostly to fund his purchase of Twitter. He made comments on a Twitter Spaces audio conference yesterday.
I'm not selling any stock for, I don't know, I'd call it a minimum 18 to 24 months. So you can count on me like no stock sales till probably, I don't know, 2025 or something.
This is a case of maybe third time's the charm, right? Where he said he's said twice now before yesterday that he was done selling, and then he went on to sell more. So he at first in April sold 8.5 billion, in August 6.9 billion. Both of those times is when he made his first statements that I'm done. And then he sold 4 billion more in November and 3.6 billion more this month. So
welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And I come back with that video just to make you think.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And we have Elon Musk says that we're overdue for a recession. And it probably will last until the second quarter of 2024. And guys, we know this recession was caused. We saw it right in front of our eyes. We saw Congress and the Fed print all this money, create inflation, and now they're raising rates to fight the inflation that they caused. Unfortunately, the masses are asleep, and this is the reason why they don't teach finances in school. And we have Elon Musk selling plenty of stock. We know he's going to ride off in the sun. We know he's not going to be a CEO of any of these companies. But guys, we also know he's building Skynet. We know all the automation that he's behind. We know eventually these Tesla cars are going to be driverless. He is one of the leaders in the fourth industrial revolution. And speaking of the fourth industrial revolution, we have Klaus. And guys, we know the next step in this digital transformation is education. And that's the reason why it's very important for you to wake up, especially if you are a parent. Guys, we know technology can be used for good or evil. But in the fourth industrial revolution, there is no privacy. They're recording everything. And I don't need you tracking me or recording me. Now, I told you that TikTok was going to be banned eventually. And now we're starting to see the steps. But guys, we know this is nothing but the Hegelian dialectic. We know that China makes majority of our product. And how did this happen? The big banks and big corporations wanted that cheap labor. And then also, if you're not manufacturing anything, you lose power. And the United States have no power. They're nothing but a consumer nation. And because China and the U.S. are going to be brought into conflict, we see Biden bringing manufacturing back to the U.S. But guys, we know that takes years for that to happen. And then on top of it, we see our small businesses being crushed by higher wages and higher interest rates. There's no way they can survive. And we know the NWO caused the problem. Wait for the reaction and run in with the solution. And we know the solution is the robots, algorithms, and drones taking over the economy, paying each other with crypto, and the sheep are going inside the metaverse. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the New World Order, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
We put emphasis on what I said before, public-private partnerships, which we accompany. So when we define a project like our global educational initiative, I just describe it in a second, we have under the leadership of Cisco and many other companies, practically all the big names, we try to revolutionize the educational system of Jordan, Egypt, and now Burundi, by working together with the local authorities. We work also together with UNESCO, not only to equip the schools, but to to retrain the teachers, to put the new curricula into place. So we work together we accompany those companies.
Imagine Alexa for your eyes. But the difference is that the information that it's retrieving, the questions that you're asking of the data are your own conversations. For example, hey X-Ray, remind me what my wife told me to buy from the shops yesterday. Or hey X-Ray, tell me what the lecturer was talking about today when we were talking about protons. Or hey X-Ray, tell me what the doctor said I needed to do tomorrow morning. That will work in all kinds of life. You know, you think of immigration issues where people are having to deal with people who speak different languages, or people in hospitals and having to rely on translators coming in. Instantly, that resolves that issue.
Check out the moment a deaf man tried the glasses for the very first time.
It should also be able to tell the difference between the speakers.
Yeah, there's me and then there's you.
Yes, and even if I talk really, really, really quickly, hopefully it should still manage to keep up with what I'm saying and should be managing to capture everything perfectly word for word.
It's not missing anything. Every single word is right there. Are you serious? Wow.
The House of Representatives has banned TikTok from official government devices. It's an order that mirrors a provision in the omnibus spending bill that was passed last week that will ban TikTok from all federal devices. Joining us
for security risk. As we know, there are basically two primary risks with TikTok. One is U.S. user data being exfiltrated in some way, shape, or form by those in the Communist Party in China. And so there's a concern about data privacy and use. And then separately, it's the actual algorithms themselves, which are really the heart and soul of TikTok, which might be manipulated for potentially political purposes, especially if there's an opportunity to infiltrate or influence U.S. policy towards, say, Taiwan. Really speaking, just for your viewers to understand why we're in this predicament, there was a U.S.-based company called Musical.ly, which was acquired by TikTok. And normally, when CFIUS is involved, it's the companies involved in a merger proactively inviting CFIUS to review the transaction and then render a judgment kind of best and final. Frankly, if they had done that back at the time of the acquisition, I think 2018, 19, I'm not so sure they would have had much of a challenge. It's unclear at the time how much of a national security threat it was. Because they didn't seek that opinion, CFIUS has the ability to kind of look backwards and say, you never asked for our help, and this is subject to CFIUS. So there's a little bit of an opportunity for more prolonged negotiation. My best estimate is we're going to see a lot more of that data localization strategy with some focus on what we can do to make transparency around the algorithm itself, which is the heart and soul of the intellectual property. So that's probably where the debate is right now.
We're going to a different economy. And we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
This effort. And China has big plans for this. They intend to seed their digital yuan into the global environment by giving it away to visitors at next winter's Olympics. When they arrive at the airport, they're going to get yuan digital wallets. They're going to receive digital yuan. They're going to use it throughout their visits to Beijing, and then they're going to take it back to their home countries. They see this as a huge advantage. Why? Because who controls the underlying protocols? Who controls the underlying standards of the future of money will control the future of money.
Most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know, I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID 33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.